everyone knows what the Elgato Stream Deck is, right? And everyone also knows that once you start looking at the Stream Decks, prices can get pretty crazy. Elgato has a whole lineup of different controllers, but for smaller creators like me, it's not always something that makes sense to invest into right away. But what if I told you that for almost half the price, you can get something that does most of the same things? Would you actually go for it? Today we're taking a look at FIFINE D6 Stream Controller, and honestly, this thing is staying in my setup for good. Before we continue, a huge thank you to FIFINE for providing me this product for review. By keeping that in mind, they're not sponsoring this video and everything you got to see and hear is only my own experience and thoughts. I think FIFINE did something really smart with this product. They took a lot of ideas people already liked from Elgato's ecosystem and made them more affordable for creators that maybe don't want to spend a huge amount of money on a stream controller right away. And honestly, for most people, especially beginners or small creators, I think this already gives you more than enough. Inside the box you get the D6 itself and USB-C cable. Pretty straightforward. Build quality actually feels very solid. The plastic feels good in hand and the buttons have this acrylic finish that should help prevent scratching over time. At the bottom there is a rubber pad to stop the controller from sliding around the desk, which is a small thing but still nice to have. One thing that instantly makes it stand out compared to Elgato is the RGB. You can control it with the button at the back, and honestly it's just a nice touch if you like some extra RGB in your setup. It features 15 programmable buttons with surprisingly bright and sharp displays. Even the cheapest Elgato Stream Deck Neo only comes with 8 buttons. The buttons themselves feel a bit unusual at first. There is a kind of two-step press feeling to them. It doesn't actually do anything extra, it's just the way they're built. But after using it for a while, I actually got used to it pretty quickly. Setup is also extremely simple. Just connect one USB-C end into D6 and the other into your PC, install the software, and you're basically ready to go. One thing I would personally love to see in a future version is some kind of built-in stand. Elgato devices usually come with the stand that gives them a better viewing angle, while here I had to use my own little phone stand solution. Okay, so the software-wise, if you ever use Elgato Stream Deck, it will look very familiar. Now, honestly, I don't think it's really a bad thing, because if you ever had experience with Elgato Stream Deck or like mobile app or something and you want to get yourself an AmpliGame, it is very easy to switch to this ecosystem. At first, if you never use any of those devices, it might look a little bit overwhelming, but give it a minute or two and you'll figure it out. So, on the right side here, you will have your plugins and your buttons that you can set. Now, the Discord, OBS and Streamlabs already were pre-installed. Otherwise, if you need anything else, you can download it from the store. We'll go there later. At the middle, you can see your pages with your buttons. I already done some settings around it, and it's not the final version, but you got an idea how it looks like. And on the left side, you have your scenes, you have your device selection. Apparently they have D6 Pro and just D6. Now honestly, I don't think D6 Pro being released because I couldn't find it. And it kind of shows you the little layout of your device here as well. Different scenes works pretty much as the pages, so you can set different scenarios for different purposes and just switch between them. I don't know how useful is that because you have your pages, but yet you have it, and if you need it, you can edit it. Okay, so inside of built-in store, you can find few different tabs: plugins, icons, Discover tab where you can see different Elgato products, and tutorials, kind of digital user guide. Now, if you go to plugins, once it's loaded, you can see all your plugins in here. Now, for people who are kind of familiar with Elgato software, they can notice that there are definitely fewer plugins than in Elgato. Probably the reason behind it that Elgato been on the market for a longer time, they had more time to connect with other developers, so they can create kind of connection and ecosystem around Elgato products. For my current setup though, I have everything I need. You can see here there's tons of plugins I didn't install. The one thing I probably be missing is DaVinci Resolve, but I can do just a shortcut and that should be absolutely fine with me. Probably the biggest disappointment for me is the icons. Yeah, so the icons are even more fewer, if you can say so, than Elgato ones. Now, they all free, all the plugins is free here, but that's not really good enough for me because there is no icons that I like personally. But thankfully, you can still upload your own icons, as you can see here. Now, these icons weren't made by me. These icons I downloaded online. I use them with my Elgato app as well. And as an example here, there's like Steam. You go here, select your local file, and these actually have a Steam icon here. So you just click on it, and it just opens. We do it. You can change the scale this way, or just original image. Here you go. There's my Steam icon. And you can see how fast they change here, so there's no delays over the icon changes. Now, to have my workflow even more organized, I did a system shortcuts the way kind of. And this one opens just my YouTube page. If you just click on here, there's my channel and OBS, so just runs OBS right away. Now, I do want to change icons on this and show you how quickly they change. So if you click here and select local file, this gear icon here, local file, because I don't have icons that I like in the shop, I will just type YouTube. There's YouTube 1 or YouTube 2. There's two versions of the icon. So like, let's go for YouTube 2, open, original size, and it's instantly changed here, so as here. Now, if you go to OBS, same thing. Do OBS, click here, and I just want you to pay close attention to here. Original image, done, instantly. There is one more thing that was to mention. You can't use GIF icons, so there's no animated icons in here. As an example, I have animated icons over here. You can see here PNG and GIF file. If you open it, it runs the animated icon. Now, but if you go here, as an example, same Steam, you want to change it, and you go to my files, there is only PNG files, so you can see, and some of them is like a screenshot of halfway, so you can't use them as well because they are kind of glitchy look because they're supposed to be animated. Okay, so for my setup, I mainly need it for OBS, which I have my OBS shortcuts here. Then, secondly, I can use it with DaVinci Resolve, and then my system shortcuts kind of thing. Now, to set OBS, you don't need to download the plugin because with my software version, it's already came pre-installed, but if you need, you can go to your store, plugins, wait, download, done. Now, how does it work here? You can get your shortcuts that you need from the list, like a record or stream when you're starting, or virtual camera or scene, like scene switching. And then this screen view appears here if it works like a plugin. The way it works, you would need to come back to your OBS, Tools, WebSocket Server setting, and then you need to make sure that it's enabled over here on top, and then you need to show connect info. Now, gonna ask me now because I'm recording it, it's not gonna ask you, just this screen view appears here. Now, once you have this open, you can get this, let's put it like this, and then just copy and paste. We don't need to copy this, but just in case, and then your password. Once you have everything there, you click connect, and your connection appears here. That means everything is done perfectly fine. Now we can close this and go back to here. So now, when I have my icons set here and everything, I can just go back to OBS and show you how quickly it changes. So there is no delays, it works perfectly fine. Back to original screen. And yeah, I think it's just amazing for a small streamer or for any kind of streamer to have this kind of device in your setup. I can launch OBS with one button, switch scenes instantly, start recording, stop recording, and even control parts of my workflow without touching my keyboard. Same thing with DaVinci and my other shortcuts. It's one of those things that doesn't feel necessary at first, until you actually start using it. So yeah, this is FIFINE D6. Affordable, easy to use, and a solid option for smaller content creators who just want to improve their setup and doesn't want to spend tons of money. So far, I genuinely don't feel like I'm missing much of functionality compared to Elgato in my current workflow, and it definitely stays in my setup. But what do you think about it? Would you actually consider adding something like this to your setup? Or streaming controllers are just unnecessary? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to my channel for more content.